Hi scholars, let's look at TEK 4.10d. It says, I can describe how to allocate a weekly allowance among spending, saving, including for college, and sharing. So allocate means to distribute and divide up for certain purposes. And I'm going to show you different examples where you distribute and put away for spending, saving, and sharing. So spending is obviously using the money for something that you need or want. Saving is putting it away, and they're also saying including for college, and then sharing, which, maybe for other purposes like charity or things like that. So let's get started. Let's start with a weekly allowance of $35 a week. Okay? Now, if you're getting $35 a week, you have several options. You can spend it all, you can save some of it, and you can share some of it. Okay? So if you spend it all, then you have $0 for the next week, and you'd have to wait for your allowance to come in order to spend again. So what's a really wise decision with your money is to put away some money for spending. Let's just say $10. Put away some money for saving, and then some money for sharing. And then that puts you at $25. So let's say maybe $15 for spending, and then $15 for saving. So this you can spend immediately. Okay, this is what you put away. And this is something you can share maybe for charity, maybe you want to donate or loan money to a friend and they'll pay you back, or whatever the purpose is. So let's create a little chart that'll help us understand. So suppose every week you follow that same plan. You put away $15 in savings. Okay, let's just talk about savings. So for week 1, you put away $15. Okay, the other $15 you spent, and then the other $5 you used it for something else. So week 2, you do the same thing. You put away $15. Week 3, same thing, $15. Week 4, same thing, $15. Let's say you saved up $15 for a whole month from your allowance, $35 every week. So after 1 month, how much money will you have? Well, if you do 15 times 4, you will have $60 saved up after 1 month if you follow like a plan of, setting aside some money. So with that savings, then, you can go buy something that costs that much money. Because obviously if you get $35 for the week, you'd have to save up quite some time to be able to buy that. And, if you wanted other things, then there's no way you could accomplish that. So you can put away that money and get what you want at a later time. Or you can keep on saving, and maybe after a whole year, you can, make a different purchase. But also what's important is that you save and put some money away for college. And even like something that's maybe happening 3 years down the road. Like let's say you're 12 or 13 years old and you want to start saving for your car. Even saving $15 a week for the next few years, that can go a long way in like putting in the first payment of your car or something like that. So if you saved $60 after 4 weeks, which is, let's just equivalize that to 1 month. So 12 months, if you do that, okay, wait, I just complicated this. Let's do it, okay. $720 after 1 year. So just imagine if you do this for a few years, you can be around $2,000, $3,000, which is a great way to start for buying a car. And, if you don't want to buy a car, that's great to save up for college or something like that. College textbooks, they cost a lot of money every semester. So that's an example of savings. Let's talk about spending. Now, even among spending, there's needs and wants. Needs are things, obviously, that you need, like maybe some groceries. Now, if you're an adult, you have to buy your own groceries. But if you're a kid, your parents are probably buying the groceries and making dinner and paying for your lunch and things like that. But sometimes, if you want additional stuff, maybe you have to pay for it. Sometimes you might want something, you feel like it's a need, but maybe your parents are like, you need to use your own money for that. Like maybe your shoes are fine, but you feel like you need a better pair of shoes, and your parents are like, you're not going to get it until your birthday. Until then, work with what you've got. I don't know. So it just kind of depends what's your situation right now. Maybe you're paying for your own cell phone bill. Just kind of depends. Every family's different. So for wants, it could be new clothes, it can be new toys, it can be new video games, it can be maybe books, whatever the case, okay? So in that first video clip, I showed you $15 for spending, $15 for saving, and $5 for sharing. So even within that $15, obviously, like, you can't just buy all these things. You have to kind of budget your money into what you want to spend your $15 on. So, like, if you want a new shirt, you want that new shirt that you saw, okay, that can be like $9, okay? So then you're left with $6. So with that $6, you might want to buy a book. And we're including tax in all this. Tax rounded up to the next dollar. So keep that in mind. If the shirt says $9 on the tag, you need to include about $1 for tax. So, that would end up spending $10. So, that's a way to think about where you want to spend your money. Maybe you need that new shirt for whatever reason, but that book is a want. And so, you can kind of balance it out. Don't ever spend all your money on your wants and then you don't take care of your needs. Like as an adult, I have to budget my money for groceries. Okay, so these are my needs. My car, my cell phone, the bills, the electric bill, the water bill, my insurance that comes out of my paycheck. Those are just some of the things that I have to put money aside for. Like if I don't pay for the grocery, like if I take my paycheck and I put away my savings and my sharing amount and now I use the rest for needs and wants, if I spent my money on new clothes and let's see what else, like makeup and jewelry and things like that, or even like new furniture for my house or like new curtains, like I don't need to get that right away. But if I spent all my money on my wants and if I don't pay for my cell phone bill, I won't have it for the next month. And so then, that's a problem. If I don't take care of the electric bill, then they're going to cut off the electric supply and the water supply and things like that. If I don't pay for groceries, I'm not going to eat, or I'll end up making poor choices with the food that I eat. So you have to make sure you're taking away money aside for that, for spending, then look at what's left over and then be like, do I want to buy anything this month for myself? And if not, maybe take that money and put it away in savings, You don't have to spend every month. So this is called budgeting your money, planning like whatever money you get. I'm going to erase that $35 allowance because there's no way you could spend $35 and take care of all these things. So this is called budgeting your money. Whatever I get for my paycheck for the month, I have to put away money for this. And then I see if I want to get anything for myself. Okay, so let's look at this question. Sarah gets $40 a week for doing her chores. And as an allowance. She puts half away for savings for college. How much will she have saved in a year? So if you're looking at $40, a week, half of 40, you always divide by 2 when you do half, is $20. Okay, so if it's $20 a week, there are 52 weeks in a year. So when you do 20 times 52, you get, if you do 2 times 52, you get 104, and then you add 1 0. So she will have $1,040 saved for college. Suppose you might get a question like she puts, $10 a week for college. How much will she have saved in a year? So instead of saying half, you're just taking out $10. So $10 times 52 weeks equals $520. So that's actually that's a huge difference. That's half of what the first amount was. So that's just a sample problem that you might see where it asks you about taking that money and putting away for savings, or they might say this for spending or this for sharing.